5 people injured after a shooting this morning on Fort Stewart in Hinesville.
3rd Infantry Division Commanding General John Lubas says the shooter is in military custody and there is no threat to the community.
We have some cell phone video from Fort Stewart at the time of the shooting that was posted to TikTok. You can see soldiers there rushing to find shelter as the post went on lockdown.
We have crews in Hinesville and Savannah where the wounded soldiers have been taken for treatment. We begin our coverage now, team coverage, with WSAV's Sarah Smith at Fort Stewart.
Yeah, Tina and Ben, we're learning more about that shooter and the victim. So we're told that shooter is 28-year-old Cornelius Radford. We do have a picture of him now. He is a sergeant here, and he is with the 2nd Armored Brigade Combat Team. He has ties to Florida and has been assigned to Fort Stewart since 2022. We also learned he has no previous combat deployments, has been interviewed, and he is awaiting charges. Now, he is an active duty soldier. We want to remind you of that. An active duty soldier here at Fort Stewart, shooting 5 of his fellow soldiers. It happened at their place of work, so all of them were co-workers. We did learn that he was arrested locally for a DUI. We're still working to learn some more of those details, and we're unsure if that is related to what took place today. Now, we did also learn this was not a military weapon, and this wasn't related to any training on base. This was his personal weapon. Commanding General John Lubas telling the media a little bit about that situation and security.
Very confident in the security of this installation. We've got a great partnership with local law enforcement. As you can see here at our gates, we have armed guards in protective equipment. This one's a bit difficult, and we're going to have to determine how he was able to get a handgun to his place of duty.
Once again, still an ongoing investigation here on Fort Stewart, and we do have news about those victims. 3 of the 5 did require surgery, but all are in stable condition. Of course, we have several crews out, and I know another crew is at Memorial Hospital, so she'll bring you some more information on that. But of course, officials aren't speculating on Radford's motives at this time. For now, live right outside Fort Stewart Army Base, I'm Sarah Smith, WSAV News 3, on your side.
Sarah, thank you. Officials both in our area and across the state are responding to the shooting. Georgia Governor Brian Kemp releasing a statement earlier today saying we are keeping the victims, their families, and all those who answer the call to serve in our hearts and prayers. And we ask that Georgians everywhere do the same. Hinesville Mayor Carl Riles said in a statement that Fort Stewart is more than a military installation. It is a vital part of Hinesville. The men and women who serve there are our neighbors, our friends, and family. Their safety and well-being matter deeply to us. He finished his statement by saying that the city would stand with Fort Stewart both in times of strength and sorrow.
Fort Stewart is home to hundreds of soldiers and their families, all of whom were placed under lockdown during the shooting. WSAV's Isabella Baez spoke to witnesses as she is joining us with what they've said to her as she shares their stories.
That's right, Tina, Ben. News of a shooting on the military post sent a shockwave throughout this community. Families, schools, and businesses in the area were told to stay indoors or even put on a lockdown. For a period of time, everyone was just waiting, wondering, and praying for the best. I spoke to a local business manager who is from the area and has been here for years. She works right around the corner from the main gate of Fort Stewart. And she said she took her own precautions by staying aware of everyone entering her store, making sure her and her employees were safe, as this is something she hasn't really seen before.
Crazy. So first of all, when you hear the sirens, we always look out the window. Then all of a sudden you hear more sirens, and then more sirens, and then we started counting them. So then we started looking across the street and walked up to the sidewalk, and it was just chaotic. They had the traffic stop. They had cops from all over coming in. People pulling over to the side. It's just scary. It's really scary because you just don't know what someone's going through or what's going on. You know?
I spoke to a woman who was in Fort Stewart in a classroom at the time of the incident. She told me her first thought was the safety of others. We hear more from her at News 3 at 6. Reporting in Richmond Hill, I'm Isabella Baez, WSAV News 3, on your side.
Isabella, thank you. Some of the injured soldiers were able to be treated on the post, but several had to be transferred to Memorial Health here in Savannah. And that is where we find WSAV's Christine Quayle, who is working to learn more about their conditions.
Yes, Ben, so it's been a really distinct air of anticipation here today at Memorial for the majority of the day. To kind of give you a little bit of a recap, we had one ambulance come here earlier and the second arrived just a few hours later, escorted by GSP, SPD, Chatham County Police. And normally for such severe injuries, because we're here at Memorial, because this is the only level 1 trauma center in the area where people can be brought for really severe and serious injuries. So normally people would be transported by helicopter because we're about 45 minutes away from Fort Stewart here, but because of the weather, they had to be brought by ambulance. So what you're seeing now is some video of when the ambulance brought that second person in earlier. We do know that all of the people are in stable, all of those that were injured in the shooting in stable condition as of now, but we're working to learn some specifics. We did talk to a trauma surgeon here at Memorial about their operations and their readiness just a couple of hours ago, and they did say that, it's a little bit different when it comes to treating military personnel because you have more people involved, but also there's more people who are, willing to be there for them and who are advocating for them.
More people to talk to, right? The commanders are allowed to ask some details that, like, other, if your boss came and asked this stuff, we couldn't tell you. So we have to talk to multi-level people. We also get a great deal of support. They all come in with a buddy, so there's always somebody there with them, which is real touching for us. But yeah, we really care about our military.
And you hear that surgeon even getting a little bit choked up about all of this because this is something big for the whole community, whether you're in Savannah, whether you're in Hinesville, whether you're in any of the surrounding areas. Many people have those who they love and people who work and live around the base, and they're all wondering about their safety and the safety of their loved ones, wanting to get updates on their conditions. Even just in a couple of moments ago, Chatham County Sheriff pulling up to the scene here because this is really, a joint effort here. So we're working to learn more exactly about what the conditions are, besides that they're stable, of the people who are here at Memorial, and then also the 3 that are being treated at Wynn on Fort Stewart. I'll send it back to you guys for now. Christine Quayle, WSAV News 3, on your side.
Christine, thank you. For the very latest information as this story develops, we want you to go to our website, wscv.com/Fort Stewart.